I'm Julia Phillipi, and I'm from the School of Nursing, and I work with a lot of great people in the Department for Nurse Midwifery. So I'm a nurse midwife, and nearly all of the nurse midwifery faculty, there's one that didn't participate because she's also our academic dean, so she was a little busy, have agreed to participate in this project. We're having a good time with it. We started producing faculty videos it was probably around 2008. And the reasons why we started doing that are we doubled our cohort size in a year. And when we're teaching skills, we really need our learners to be able to see our hands because we're going to grade them on very precise hand movements. And in addition, at that same cohort, we happen to have a higher than usual volume of non-tactile learners, brilliant people who have been great academically for a long time, but then you ask them to use their hands with people and hold slippery babies, and you think, ooh, this person needs a lot more time and attention. So if we thought if we recorded these videos, those students could do a lot more self-learning without us having to monitor their learning all the time. We also are under extreme pressure to have the best students available. There are only so many nurse midwifery preceptors in the US, and we're competing for them. So if we can say that our students are better prepared than another institution, they're more likely to take our students. So we wanted to have them show up on their first day very prepared. And another reason why we started doing videos is I had a 9-year-old at home who had this little YouTube camera, like the little flip video camera that you could do the button, and then you could do a video and then press the button again. And she was editing them with iMovie, and I thought, well, if my kid can do it, certainly I can get it together and do it. So we started doing them with a flip video camera, which we would post about here on a tripod, and then we would wrap our hands around it and try and do skills with the tripod right there. One person took her iPhone and painters taped it to the underside of her kitchen cabinets and did a suturing video with that. And we thought, well, this is great, but we like to take it to the next level. And so that was why we put in the grant. When we started doing faculty generated videos for skills, it totally revolutionized the way we did our skills labs. We did a completely flipped classroom model at that point, where we were saying to students, here are these skills videos, put them on your computer, put them on your iPad, and make sure your hands do exactly what's in this video. Then when you come to lab, we're going to use that time to help you refine your skills and improve your skills and bolster you from there. But really the responsibility for learning these skills is yours. And the faculty generated videos worked better than our traditional lecture, because if you think about it, if I'm trying to teach you guys a skill, you're going to have to flip that skill around to make your hands do it. So that's an additional change. And if you're not a tactile learner, well, that's really hard. So this way, and you can see a clip from some of our videos, and these are before Google Glass. You can see how we're trying to make the hands in the orientation that the learner's hands would be, so it's easier for them. And you can also see in this bottom video how hard it is to work with the camera when we're doing certain things. Like we were showing them how to do gowning and gloving for surgical gowning and gloving. Well, you can't surgical gown and glove with something in between you and the glove. So that way we have the video off the shoulder. And so we thought, wow, the Google Glass would be the perfect way to do these videos. And I have some examples that if we have time we can show. So we thought, wow, imagine seeing through the eyes of your professor. Wouldn't that be fabulous? If you could basically be on someone's forehead who knows what you want to learn. We were so excited. So we got the grant, and we're still filming right now, and we're also going to brand our videos, so to put a watermark on them from Vanderbilt. And then we've talked with Global Health Media, which is a wonderful media site that has basically training videos for health resources, and they're fabulously well done videos, and they have agreed to house our links if we can get them up and running and not have videos that are overlapping their content, because they already have some great videos. So that's how we're going to disseminate them. And I do have a video that we've filmed as well. We'll see if we have time for that. The thing is that it all sounded fabulous. We were so excited. And then reality set in. So the first step that we had trouble with was that this was a beta program. So this was called the Explorer program. And they wouldn't sell glass, and you use it in the singular if you want to sound cool. They wouldn't sell it to an individual, to an institution, they would only sell it to an individual, and it had to be linked with someone's Google Plus account. So I am a Google super user, so I do let them track my data, you know, all the traffic stuff. I'm one of the people who lets Google track their every move. And so they allowed me to purchase it. You had to get a permission in order to purchase it. And that was fairly easy because I think they know how much engaged I am with Google. But it also meant that we couldn't get the tax-free deal that institutions get. So that caused a whole brouhaha that took us a time, and this was right up against the end of the fiscal year, trying to get these things purchased. And so it was a big problem to actually pay tax on a Vanderbilt account. So we had to work through that as well. And just so you know, that it did get removed from the market on Monday. They say it's because they're going to focus on developing the next generation of Google Glass. And I hope they do. It has some good perks. But this product does have a ways to go before it's something that I would say that, oh, we all need one for our teaching. So there's some parts to it. The power button is up here when you press it. The camera is located right here. Here's the screen. This is the touchpad, and when you put it on, and I'm going to circulate it, and you can wear it even if you have glasses, you can swivel this screen a little bit here to get it in your frame of view. The problem is that not everyone, I think, has the near point vision to be able to focus on the screen. So remember how I told you I use my kids as beta testers and then they tell me how it works? Well, I have 3 kids. One can't see the screen at all, like not at all, doesn't even know the screen's there. We actually took her to the eye doctor at Vanderbilt, and I was mentioning this. I was like, does she have a problem with her near point vision because she can't see the screen? And the doctor got really involved. She was like, well, they won't release their specs, so I don't know how far away it is from her eye. Apparently it was a big controversy at her conference, and she suggested, oh, if you have time, just bring it by and I'll work with you on it. And I thought, well, this is my 7-year-old kid. I'm not sure I really want her knowing how to see through the glass. But since I've been handing it to people to use as well to see if there's other ways to engage with it, a good number of people can't see the screen at all. So if you can't see it, if it's not there, first press the power button to make sure it's on. It should say OK glass, and it should have kind of a shimmer, and then if you adjust it, you should be able to see it at that point. But there are people who I think just cannot use this equipment in the way it should be used. So I'm going to pass it around. It has a touchpad on the side, and you scroll this way to go between to go within a folder, and this way to go between folders. So another kind of pitfall of it is that it is totally linked with my Google account, which means you can see my schedule, and I'm not doing anything controversial today. I'm with you. You can see all of the videos I've uploaded, and so can everybody else in my Google Plus circle. So my oldest child will occasionally come down and say, you were working with those models again. And being in midwifery, the models that we work with are very anatomically realistic. It's not something I would post on my Facebook account of what I've done that day. And it is also, it will show my texts that go across. So if I have an appointment and someone else is using the glass, they're going to see all my appointments, all my texts. Emails will pop up in their field of vision. One time it was Christmas time, and the person who was borrowing the Google Glass came in and said, your package was delivered today. So I hope they will eventually move towards allowing institutional users to avoid that issue. This is my son doing his trial run in my office, dressed in his little Vanderbilt shirt, so he's all rooting for the School of Nursing. We have found that there's a huge steep learning curve with this particular equipment. We had a lot easier time moving towards using the flip video camera. There's one red button. All you have to do, when you're getting a new faculty member in to teach them is press that one red button. This, you have to teach them how to swipe, you have to get the screen just right. And then you're going to have to do multiple takes when you're doing a video. And in the meantime, the Google Glass is getting hot. It gets so hot that it's almost too hot to the touch. And then at some points, it'll ask you to let it cool down, which is okay. It's just we were planning on working at that point. We may have scheduled the lab for several hours, and there may be another group coming in after that. So that wasn't very fun. In addition, I learned the hard way that if the Wi-Fi is just a little bit sketchy, it uses my personal phone, which it's also hooked to upload those videos. That was great until we decided also to go to, we took vacation, we went out near the Grand Canyon, and my daughter downloaded music all the way to Arizona, and my phone had pushed all this data through the phone as well. So we ended up with data charges that we didn't quite anticipate. So that's another thing to think about if you're pairing it with a personal device, is that you'll be responsible for that data upload. And we talked about the privacy settings. The good news is that it is fairly easy to get the videos off of the Google Glass and onto my Google Plus account, and then with branding, to let our tech people pull them down and brand them. That was fairly easy, which it wasn't easy in the flip phone, because we had a device that we then had to sync to one thing, and then we had to find a way to push an extraordinarily large file to the people who are going to brand it or cut it for us. And that Google has done a good job of. If the Wi-Fi is good, when you plug it in to recharge, it will automatically upload all the videos to your Google Plus account. Let's see, how am I on time? Are we good?
We have just 4 minutes.
Okay, well, do you want me to show the video that we've done?
Do we have time? Do people want to watch the video?
I'm not sure if it matters to you. Okay.
Today we're going to talk about the microscope. This is what you're going to use to look at your microscopy specimen. To begin with, we're going to talk about the various parts of the microscope and how they work and what you'll do, and then I'll show you an actual slide so that we can see how to move the microscope in such a way that hopefully you can get your specimen in view. The etiquette of when you put your slide specimen in, you're going to have this part over, like so. You'll open your clip, you'll slide your specimen in, close the clip, and you're ready to move this around and actually view your specimen. This is the stage. Underneath, you have the diaphragm. This has a little aperture, so you can open and close it and let the light in. This is where the light source comes from. We'll turn this on in a minute. Hopefully will see the light through it. You have on the sides, these are the dials. On this particular microscope, we have fine focus on one side and the gross focus on the other. Some microscopes, you'll have a bigger portion of the dial that will be the gross focus, and the smaller dial, part of the dial, will be the fine focus. So you just have to know which kind of microscope you're using. Then finally, the way that you're going to, if you have to for some reason move this microscope, you're going to grasp the microscope under the arm like so. You're going to lift from the base, and that way you can move it safely. And that is the microscope and how to use it to view your wet mounts.
Yeah, that's kind of questions. It sounds like the video aspect of it, you've definitely decided that you'd win.
Fabulous, yeah.
There's many other wearable video options. GoPros one that comes to mind. Those are probably just devoted to the video capture and then the uploading as opposed to all the things Bucks can do. Is that something you've considered?
Yeah, we've considered that. GoPros make people ill when they watch them. But we did present this at a national nursing education conference, and we had some extra time because it wasn't very long. And one person was like, well, why don't you hang it from the ceiling rather than put it on your body? And I thought, well, that'd be really good. If I could make something at that level, because I like the Google Glass level of view, and then have it be still but not get in my way, that'd be perfect. We haven't gotten to suspending it from the ceiling yet. I have checked the ceilings. It's just going to be hard to put the rope over it.
So I was, where was I? I was at another university, and they showed me their nutrition and dietetics lab.
Yeah.
They don't believe we have here, but part of what they do is they teach cooking there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so they have, it's kind of like our document cameras that we would have here. They have the camera because they want to show the instructor at the front of the classroom and everything that they're doing. So
I would love that, but part of it is that then sometimes we're changing where we are, and that was also hard. We want to show multiple views to students.
Head mounted, right?
Yeah, and so, or easily moving as we move, but not as, like jumpy as we are. I'm pretty jumpy. So we're still thinking on that, and I'm interested to find out where we end up. But if you guys think of other ways that would work, please let us know, because we think the videos are fabulous. It's just the technology is the clunky part.
Why don't we open it to questions for all the panelists if
Yeah.
there is time?